welcome a new friend of Foxcroft, Lisa Kudrow.
Thank you, President Newcomer. Not yet. Okay. Good morning, everyone, and congratulations, Foxcroft graduating class of 2012. I know you've all worked hard, and I think you'll find in college that it was beyond worth it. I went to a public high school in LA, in the Valley. Are you too young to even know what that means? The Valley? Okay. People didn't speak with vowels. Not to say that it wasn't a good school I went to, but, well, because I spelled my name correctly on the SATs, I scored higher than most of my 1,600 other classmates. I didn't completely fit in there. At my school, kids would get up at 6 in the morning, go surfing, then drop in at school for a few periods, knock that out, and then go back to the beach. That was their real job. I, on the other hand, took extra classes at the community college that looked interesting to me. No, I didn't fit in. As well as I did in school, I was not prepared for college. I didn't know it until I got to Vassar and they gave me a reading comprehension test, but apparently I was a very slow reader. I never knew that. I didn't really have to read that much in high school. It turned out I didn't really know how to make an outline for a paper. Flashcards, couldn't use them. Didn't know where to begin to organize myself to prepare for tests. What took most people a couple of hours to accomplish in their studies took me at least twice as long. I was also a biology major, so I had the additional 3-hour labs that cut into my study time. So while I know you all worked very hard, please be grateful for the preparation you received. I know the normal college send-off includes a lot of take risks and have experiences. I think that's good advice, but I think it depends on who you are and what you can handle. You're certainly exposed to more than I was at your age. You have the internet, and I only had sitcoms from the 70s. Oh, no, I knew what it was like to be a young single girl living in Minneapolis working at a newsroom from the Maritime Car Show. And I also knew how hilarious the Korean War must have been if you were in a MASH unit. And all I knew about myself was that I didn't fit in during high school. But I did try at first, I did. I thought I'd try out for cheerleading, maybe date a football player. But as I got to know these people, I realized, ooh, these people have really bad judgment. After football games, someone would have a party, and all my friends would try to find rides to the kegger. Come on, Lisa, this guy will give us a ride. And I'd think, this guy drank a beer at the game, and now you're getting into a car with him? A 16-year-old boy who thinks he's indestructible? That's the most dangerous situation I can think of. And then how will we get home? We'll be trapped at a party with older guys getting drunk. Now, how is putting my life and possibly my virtue in peril fun? How? That was me as a teenager. How many of you were like me? My husband and my family have always made fun of me for being a freak. I hated going to concerts too. The music was too loud for me. I'd sit there thinking, all right, everyone's getting whipped up into a frenzy and a mob's going to break out at any second. We should actually leave early so we don't get trampled on our way out. Where are the exits? Other girls would giggle excitedly when a guy at school would talk about how he was driving so fast onto Panga Canyon, his buddy almost flew out of the back of his pickup. Oh my God, you're like so crazy. I, on the other hand, was the one who said, that's not very smart. You know, someone died last year flying out of a pickup onto Panga Canyon. I didn't get asked out a lot, which was fine with me, because I couldn't trust the guy wasn't going to get drunk, or worse, take me to a concert. I couldn't help who I was. I was like other girls my age in that I did want a boyfriend. So when a star football player named Gary was interested in me, I thought it was a miracle. And how great that I will have some kind of normal high school experience finally. I know he won't be interested in the same things like going to dinner than a Woody Allen movie. But all the girls thought he was cute, all the guys respected him, and I thought he was sort of nice. I wanted a relationship, so I'll just compromise. One night we were talking on the phone. That's what we did back then. We talked on the phone. They were plugged into the house, too. It was very, very intimate. So we're talking on the phone, and at some point, Gary says, well, Jesus was the Son of God, which is a perfectly fine thing to say, except that Gary was Jewish. I said, okay, but aren't you Jewish? Well, that don't make no never mind. Still the Son of God. Well, yeah, except technically, I think the one big difference, and he cut me off, and said, as the great Robin Trawler says, if you don't like it, you can leave. Who's Robin Trawler? Robin Trawler is the greatest guitar player. And then I broke up with him. I was out. Honestly, I was out, and that don't make no never mind. That's not how I saw myself. He was way out of my comfort zone. No, I won't have a boyfriend, and I'm comfortable not fitting in here. That's how I approached my final years, or 1 year of high school. All this will be remedied when I go to college. So I choose a college on the East Coast, where the superior high schools there turn out a better kind of student, smart and mature. That's when I'll become a loosey-goosey person and have fun. The first dorm party I went to when I got to Vassar, the very beginning of my freshman year had a long-lasting impact. I met a cute, smart, nice guy. We were talking. I couldn't believe he was paying attention to me with all the pretty girls around. There were so many beautiful girls at Vassar. And at one point, he said I looked cold and he had a sweater I could borrow. And he's a gentleman. No one in high school ever cared if I was cold. And then he said, so you keep me company while I get it from my room upstairs? Well, of course I'll keep him company. He's nice enough to get me a sweater. As we're walking up the stairs, I realized that people can see us leaving the party. And I'm going to this guy's room, who I don't really know. I'm also aware that there is some sort of agreement and understanding when you go to someone's room alone. I don't want a make-out session. That's what we called them, all right? Make-out session. Or I thought maybe I just should. Have the experience. Give yourself over. You're in college now. It's okay. I was trying to ignore the voice inside that said, but I want to experience a relationship where you learn about another person. I want that kind of intimacy, not just empty physical kind of intimacy. And I couldn't ignore the voice. But now here I am. I'm starting off in college in this new community, and I want a relationship, but that's not the message I'm sending as I follow him to his room. We get to his door, he opens it, steps in, and turns around, surprised, because I'm planted in the open doorway. I didn't want to go in. And then he'll start to make a move, and I'll have to tell him no, and then he'll get hurt, or worse, I'll let him kiss me, and he'll just keep going, and I don't want to. Either his feelings get hurt, or I completely compromise myself, and I know I can't handle that. So better to hurt his feelings right now. He's confused, and he asks, aren't you coming in? And I'm just like, no, I'm fine here. You know, young ladies don't go into rooms with young men. The door closed. So we'll keep it open. No, I'll just get this, why don't you get the sweater, we'll go back down to the party. I'm smiling, I'm being nice. He was hurt. He got the sweater, sort of tossed it at me, we went back down to the party, where he immediately left to talk to another girl. He turned out to be a nice guy. Nothing wrong with him, really. We became friends later, and he actually, I think I saw him 2 years ago, remembers that he had kissed me. And again, I have to hurt his feelings because I don't remember that. I don't think it ever happened. Either way, he's hurt. So he stayed away from me. A lot of guys stayed away from me after that, and I started to question what's wrong with me. I have to step out of my comfort zone here. If I want to experience anything, I couldn't help it though. My comfort zone was this big. Then I realized word must have spread that I was a good girl, and that was fine with me. It was a good thing. I avoided a lot of hurt feelings while I got to know and develop friendships with many guys. And no one even tried to make a move until one of my friendships blossomed into more when I gave enough signals to let that guy know it's safe, you can make a move. It was a great relationship, lasted 2 years. I have a young teenage son, and while he doesn't like to tell me everything or anything, I have overheard his conversations with my husband, Michelle. And the one thing that touched me most was hearing Michelle tell our 14-year-old, the girl decides. The girl always decides. And I'm happy he knows that. But what's more important to me is, does the girl know that? Because that's what's important, that the girl knows that. I think I did know that deep down. Like I said, my husband and family have made fun of me for being such a strict teenager, and I've joined in because no concerts, really, not even. But the girl decides. That was my right. I didn't want to go for rides with stupid drunk boys. I didn't feel comfortable risking my life. That's my decision. I didn't want to be with that football player in high school just to have a boyfriend. I decided to treat myself better and reach for more than the others by studying and getting into a good college. And I decided not to go into that guy's room freshman year because I decided to send that message. I was figuring out who I was, and all I had for guideposts were my comfort zones, my instincts about what I could handle and what I wasn't ready for yet. Sure, I was clunky about delineating my boundaries, but I was getting very clear on who I was. And I had experiences, plenty of them, when I was ready. I also stepped way out of my comfort zone. For the love of God, I went from brown-haired bio major to blonde actress in Hollywood who's mostly known for playing idiots. The girl decided when she was ready and stayed true to herself all along the way. Over the next 4 years, as you step into adulthood, you decide who you are. While you're having experiences and exploring things, please pay close attention to who you are and what are your comfort levels. Know and remember, the girl decides. The girl always decides. Thank you.